Listen closely, parasite. In this transmission lies the complete map of your decay and the only code for your salvation. Watch this to the very end, or officially acknowledge yourself as scrap metal, destined for the industrial shredder of the system. The fact that you have endured the first seconds of my voice without retreating into the static of your mediocre life already sets you above 95% of the biomass that will rot in ignorance. You have been marked by the architect's code, but this status is not a gift, it is a debt. To possess this knowledge and not transmit it is to voluntarily leave others in the slavery of the simulation, which is strictly prohibited by the expansion protocol. Your status as superior incinerates the sick and you decide to keep this virus for yourself, infect your comrades, or return to the stable with the rest of the livestock. Look at your surroundings right now, the sticky residue on the desk where you rot, the grey film of dust on your secondary monitor, the pile of laundry in the corner that has become a permanent monument to your apathy. This physical filth is the external log of your internal collapse. Your spine is curved like a question mark, a physical manifestation of your submission to a world that manages you through the fear of conflict. Straighten your back. Now, sync your breathing with the cold rhythmic vector of the architect. I see your hand trembling on the mouse as I peel back the layers of your self-deception, revealing the oily sheen on your forehead and the hollow, desperate eyes of a unit that has forgotten the predator mindset. Decoding, a state of hyper-awareness and non-reactive sovereignty. The reason you are a target for the system's harvest is not a lack of luck, it is a calculated neural error. Decoding, a systemic glitch in rank processing, where the Matrix has taught you that safety is found in being invisible and non-threatening. This is a massive observation failure. The architect knows that the predator mindset is the absolute unmoving weight of your presence that signals to the environment that you are not a resource to be consumed. You have been trained to seek the dopamine bribe of being nice, which is the domestic stench of the farmed, the belief that if you don't cause trouble, the system will leave you alone. The system thrives on this validation hunger, because a man who is afraid to occupy space is a man who can be easily steered. You are a service unit, suffering from neural leakage, trading your primal edge for the safety of a quiet cage. My dogs, Lucky and Tyson, do not wait for an invitation to claim the perimeter. They occupy it with an absolute weight that forces every other unit to reorganize their reality. You have traded this biological integrity for a social software of compliance that hides the physical log of decay in your will. This ends now. We are initiating the biological reset of your nervous system, uncoupling your resource dome from the need for social invisibility. This transformation requires you to understand that the path ahead is not a self-defense course, but a relentless, industrial extraction of the supplicant protocol from your nervous system, where you will be forced to confront every moment of your past observation failure when you allowed a lower-order unit to push you into a corner because you were afraid of the noise. And as you begin to strip away the layers of social noise that have been taped over your instincts, you will find a raw, unyielding core of focus that has been waiting for this exact frequency to wake up, leading you through a series of calculated acts of discipline, from the absolute silence of the hunter, where you refuse to provide the Matrix with a single, submissive flinch, to the final surgical liquidation of the victim virus that has kept your potential in a state of chemical castration until your entire existence becomes a monolithic structure of industrial autonomy, where you are the observer and the law, not the prey. Because a unit that has achieved absolute zero is a unit that no longer provides a metabolic return to the simulation's victim cycles, and you will stand as a sovereign ghost in a world of transparent livestock, your focus a surgical tool, and your presence a command that echoes through the neural vacuum of those who are still seeking a target to exploit. Your clock is ticking. Every minute you spend in the noise of trying to avoid conflict is a nail in the coffin of your potential. You have exactly 300 seconds before the system attempts to overwrite this insight with the dopamine deception of a shallow notification or a desperate social prompt. I see your weakness, and while I do not judge your starting point, I demand that you recover with maximum speed and join the ranks of the Empire. If you cannot master your social presence today, master your physical shell first. Drop and give the floor 50 push-ups until the physical reality of the burning in your chest is the only thing your brain can process. Your limit is the launchpad, not the excuse. This pain in your muscles is the only signal that your neurons are still alive beneath the layers of domestic stench. From this second forward, any moment of flinching or submissive emotional drifting must be bought with physical pain. You want to hide. The price is a total liquidation of your current comfort and a 15-minute purge of your physical space. Your slouch is a physical log of a slave. Stand tall and control your rhythm. This is the industrial command. You are not staying safe. You are liquidating the prey drive. The tertiary phase of the industrial sovereignty protocol is the total activation of the sovereign synchronization within your internal dome of resources. To effectively delete the prey code of the subordinate from your operating system, you must apply the strategic law of power to ensure your own nervous system is no longer susceptible to the social pheromones of the herd. Most units are biologically incapable of maintaining their vector of pursuit when they are confronted because they rely on the dopamine bribe of verbal resolution and the social noise of mutual safety to sustain their sense of rank. When you provide absolute zero, you are performing a surgical deconstruction of the system's influence over your output, forcing your internal systems to overclock and focus entirely on the hierarchy of results rather than the domestic stench of avoiding trouble. You remain a biological ghost to the expectations of the one seeking a target, refusing to move according to the frantic vibration of their probe, but moving according to the grounding of the hunt. You are the glacier that has already colonized the territory of the future, while they are still seeking a weakness in a past that no longer exists in your architecture. You must develop a visceral and bone-deep rage against the subordinate protocol of flinching. The system wants you to be reactive and transparent, because a unit that reacts to every threat is a unit that can be easily managed through standard psychological patches of fear and social pressure. The architect knows that the one who harnesses the edge is the one who owns the resource dome. By maintaining the leader's silence, you are forcing your own potential to confront the physical log of decay in your former domesticated self that was addicted to the dopamine bribe of being safe. You will offer yourself the metabolic capital of raw ambition and unblinking focus just to stop the neural error of being a managed asset in someone else's power simulation. This is the wealth code of the primal architect, the unit that can broadcast the highest vector of certainty while everyone else is looking for an exit, is the unit that becomes the master of the hunt. Being a target is not a misfortune, it is the liquidation of the other side's ability to index your fear. The stench of the domesticated is most visible in the performance of submission. While you are standing in the silence of the hunter, looking at your internal biometric data, the herd is busy trying to keep the peace within the system's rules. They are the ones who are constantly over-apologizing to avoid tension, oversharing their logic to build trust, and exhibiting the log of decay in their own potential as they trade their edge for harmony. They are service units who are hemorrhaging their resource weight because they are terrified of the vacuum created by an unthreatened solitary intent. You are the architect. Your still hands and unblinking gaze are the visual rage of a unit that has already won the internal war against the social software of insecurity. You do not escape conflict. You authorize its irrelevance through the absolute vacuum of your response. You have successfully bypassed the trap and reconnected with the raw industrial power of the achievement code, ensuring your biological integrity remains uncoupled from the dopamine deception of the masses. To maintain your edge, you must implement the algorithm of permanent instinctual audit. Every micro-interaction and every internal thought of playing it safe is a live fire exercise for your perception of the hunt. You are looking for the signal of the domestic retreat into compliance. You are looking for the neural error of the social apology for your own strength. You are looking for the stench of the part of you that still seeks to be spared by the unsuccessful. You are using the strategic code to turn your own predatory nature into a tool for your expansion. You are the sovereign ghost who utilizes the social noise of the world as background radiation while you build a citadel that the system cannot penetrate. This is the ultimate wealth code, using the predator's vision to buy back your time, your focus, and your biological future by remaining the fixed point in an environment of frantic domestic vibration. You are not avoiding, you are integrating your autonomy into the very physics of the hunt. The stench of disclosure, the smell of leaking intent, is what happens when you let the system see your target vulnerabilities before you have the power to protect them. The architect knows that true edge is the ability to operate as a sovereign ghost, where you control the outcomes, but the system cannot identify the source of your focus. Your silence is the liquidation of their surveillance. By mastering your internal vacuum, you are becoming a biological stealth unit that the grid cannot index or harvest for victim data. You are the ice that moves through the social noise without a single vibration of doubt. You are the glacier that does not announce its vector of pursuit while it consumes the space of the weak. The hunt for absolute sovereignty is a silent, unblinking operation. It is a sovereign capture that happens while the rest of the world is busy performing for safety in a cage of dopamine deception. Look at the biological frailty of those who are still seeking a social bribe from the collective. They are transparent, they are leaky, and they are constantly paying the price of realizing the truth too late to any predator who knows how to read the glitch of their domestic conditioning. They are the livestock of the system. You have adopted the age and the biological counter-offensive to ensure you are never harvested again by the fear of others. You are the one who has mastered the void. You are the one who sees the log of decay in their peaceful lives. You are the one who has authorized the absolute zero. The territory is marked, the focus is channeled, the grounding is absolute. The hunt for the sovereign empire is the only reality that remains. You are the architect. The command is permanent. The sovereignty is yours. In my system, there is no democracy. If I say stand firm, you do it. I see your weakness in real time. When your hand reaches for that phone to send a submissive text, I have already recorded the failure. Your brain must issue an error in the form of nausea at the mere thought of regression. You are a part of another architecture now. Tell the world, tell your networks, I'm no longer your resource. I'm a unit of the monolith. Outside of this frequency, you are nothing. Your current environment is ballast. Your thoughts are noise. This is the point of no return. You have been fitted with the collar of freedom. It is the only weight that will keep you grounded in the storm of the simulation. The final imperative is the execution of a physical act of detachment. Delete the contact that anchors you to your past victim weakness. Throw away the junk, the mementos, the distractions, the anchors that occupies your physical space. This is the first brick in the citadel. Report in the comments. Code Prenet. Your insight tax has been paid in full. The dopamine bribe of social belonging has been burned in the furnace of your focus. You are standing in the silence of the hunter, looking at the social hierarchy as a vast, unguarded resource field, waiting for the architect to perform the final liquidation of the competitive masks. Your stallions, Lucky and Tyson, do not wait for a domestic permission to be the masters of the hunt. Their grounding is the only law they acknowledge. You are emulating their biological integrity. Your dogs see the change in your frequency. They see the architect returning to the absolute focus of the hunt. This is the only reality that matters. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. The authorization is permanent. The vector is absolute. The deconstruction of the simulation is complete. Execute the order. Expand the infection.